You know that moment when your mic sounds clean, but then you hit play, and suddenly your vocals slice to your ears like glass? That's vocal harshness. And no matter how expensive your mic or plug-in chain is, if you don't control it, your mix will never sound professional. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 proven ways to fix harsh vocals using a FabFilter Pro-Q4, a Soothe 2, and a De-Esser. Each method tackles the problem from a different angle. So by the end of this video, you'll know which one to use and when to use it. Oh, and stay till the end because I'll share a bonus trick on how to also fix muddy frequencies of your vocals using just one plugin and add warmth to your vocal without killing the clarity. Let's get on it. Hey guys, my name is Tachi Music, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. So this is the song that we're working on here. So we are working on a vocal that has a lot of clarity on it, guys. By the end of this video, you are going to know what vocal harshness is to a sound or to any sound. So let's listen to this vocal and identify if the vocal has a lot of harshness or not.
Damn, I trust to kill my German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man. Damn, I trust to kill.
So imagine listening to this vocal over and over for around 30 minutes to around an hour or 2 or more. Listening to this same vocal maybe on an album or an EP or any project, guys, or maybe repeating the same song, but listening to the vocal like this. After maybe 20 to 30 minutes of listening to this vocal like this, you'll feel irritated in your ears and your mind will be telling you to stop listening to the song. That is vocal harshness, guys. That is when your ears are tired and done of listening to this same song or to the same sound that is actually happening. So working on this vocal, we are going to start with an EQ. And yes, we are going to use a FabFilter Pro-Q4 EQ, as we said on the intro. We are going to use a dynamic fixing, a dynamic cutting on fixing this harshness on a vocal. And this is why Pro-Q4 will give us dynamic bands, meaning the EQ reacts when only the offending frequency spikes. That keeps the vocal alive on soft passages and only reduces the harshness at the moment it becomes a problem. Now, this is why we are using a dynamic EQ, guys. So it's a must that you have your dynamic EQ when you're doing this. We are trying to fix just one frequency, that frequency that brings the harshness in the vocal. So we are going to actually click here and create a band here and make it a dynamic band, guys, like this. We're going to sweep through these frequencies, guys, because the harshness of the vocal is always at around that 2.5 kilohertz to something closer, that 4 kHz range on the vocal or on the frequency spectrum of the vocal.
Damn, I trust to kill my German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear.
Okay, so that you can understand what's happening here, I'm going to boost this frequency like this.
Damn, I trust to kill my German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear.
This that you are listening here is where most of this vocals frequency, this vocals harshness is at. It's here, guys. In other words, this is what you call the pain frequency of this vocal, because with this frequency on, guys, it can actually damage your ears while listening to the song for a longer period of time. For this vocal, this harshness is at around here. We are going to actually decrease this thing like this. You can decrease it to around -6 if you like.
Damn, I trust to kill my German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man. Damn, I trust to kill.
This is why we do a vocal taming harshness. So whenever you're mixing vocal, make sure that you listen to the vocal. Mostly those raw vocals, they will tell you if there's something that is needed to be taken care of on that vocal. So this one from the get-go, it sounds raw, guys. There's nothing, as you can see, that there's nothing there. So we needed to tame that harshness. So do not confuse taming harshness with actually taming the S's and T's, de-essing the vocal. We will come to that stage, but right now we are still working on the harshness of the vocal. This trick of using a dynamic EQ does not mess with the vocal, does not mess with the originality of the vocal. Another tool that you can use to take care of that vocal harshness is Soothe, guys. This tool will make sure that your vocal harshness is gone, but don't confuse Soothe, guys, with doing subtractive EQing. Do not confuse Soothe with what you just did here, because this is why we are using Soothe specifically for taming that vocal harshness. Soothe is essentially ears in the box. It detects narrow resonances and tames them musically. It's fast, and when used correctly, it preserves the air and character while removing ringing or unpleasant peaks that EQ would make dull if cut hard. And now that you know why we are using Soothe instead of other plugins, there's a lot of plugins outside, we are going to start mixing this vocal. So there are actually presets that you can use that are great for removing harshness, but because we want to actually tame just one frequency on this vocal, which is the harshness only, we're not going to go and search for preset on Soothe. So we're going to focus on that one frequency, guys, from around the 2K 0.5 Hz range to around the 3000 or even 4K. We will see where the actual harshness is in this vocal. So you're going to push the depth so hard so that you can actually hear what is happening when trying to find that harshness in this vocal. So we're going to click this and make sure that we click listen, guys, so that you know what is happening. I am going to boost it, guys, like this, and then listen.
Yeah, my trust to kill. My jam is still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Yeah, my shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man. Yeah, my trust to kill. My jam is still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Yeah, my shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man.
So surprisingly, I hear that the vocal has a lot of harshness, lots of pen frequency at around this 5K range, guys. So it's telling us that these frequencies that are harsh are at around from 2.7K to around this 10K range or 11K range. So the boost is at around 5K range. So we need to actually leave it like this, guys. Since we are not doing a subtractive EQing here, leaving this thing like this will actually tell Soothe that in this frequency, in this exact frequency, go hard in actually taming that frequency. Go hard in actually controlling that frequency. This thing is also a resonance, guys, a resonance tamer. It makes sure that it works on the resonances of the vocal that even our ears cannot hear, even our ears cannot perceive.
Yeah, my trust to kill. My jam is still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man.
So because we are only working on a harsh frequency here, you can tell that Soothe is even working on the lower mid frequencies, of which in this case, we are not doing that. We do not want that. So I'm just going to double click here and then push you to around here. So that Soothe only works on these frequencies around the 2K frequencies to around, the 16K. It depends, guys, but here I think it's working mostly on this 5K frequency because that is where we found a lot of harshness in this vocal. So let's listen again.
Yeah, my trust to kill. My jam is still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Yeah, my shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man. Yeah, my trust to kill.
So I'm going to leave it like this. It's perfectly fine when it's like this. You can feel that this harshness is slowly fading away, guys. Actually, it's somehow gone. Like for me, I feel like it's gone. I can actually do a lot of things in this vocal and I wouldn't actually have a problem with the harshness. But for a lot of producers or engineers, they would feel like there's still the harshness in this vocal, which is why instead of leaving the chain like this, another way that you can kill harshness in the vocal, you can actually use a de-esser. We are not only killing the harshness, we also want to kill the S's and T's of this vocal, as they also are part and parcel of harshness, guys. So this is a Pro De-Esser. It's a de-esser, guys. You can use any de-esser you want, but I just like using this one. It's very simple, guys. It has highlighted the ranges that are most common in most vocals that have problems with harshness, that has problems with those S's and T's. So we're not going to do anything here. We're just going to leave it like this. And then here, I like to boost this thing to around 10 dB like this. And then done.
Damn, I trust to kill. My German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill.
And now for the bonus, we are going to use a multi-band compressor. In this case, I'm just going to use a FabFilter Pro-Q4. So here, let's say that your vocal has a lot of muddy frequencies. So instead of using a straight cut like everyone does when we are doing the subtractive EQing, you can actually tame this thing using the FabFilter Pro-Q4. And this is why. After the 3 steps above, there can still be body problems or mud problems. Pro-Q4 lets you reduce mud or dynamically compress or tame highs across bands. Very musical and transparent. Okay guys, so off air, I just swapped around very quick and then found that this vocal had some problem on this frequency on around 300 frequency.
Yeah, my trust to kill. My German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Yeah, my shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill.
So this thing is working transparently, taming this vocal. You can still feel that there's a lot of body in this vocal, but you can also tell that this thing has drastically decreased that harshness or that muddiness of the vocal. So let's say that you still feel that the vocal has some harshness on the top frequency. So instead of coming here and pushing this thing up and down like this, pushing this thing up and down, you can actually fix it on this stage here, guys. Listen, sweep through and listen to the frequencies that are actually bothering you, and then you can actually tame them like this. So I would actually stay here, guys.
Damn, I trust to kill. My German still. How do you feel? You gotta chill, man. Damn, I shoot to kill. I'm here to stay. I got no fear. And I'm so chill, man.
So I would actually advise that you do this step, guys, after you're done with your chain. So after choosing maybe 1 or 2 or using all of them, these methods, then you carry on with your chain, your normal chain like you normally do. And then after that, guys, put this Pro-Q4 at the end of your chain. So this is to control everything that you have done above the chain and making sure that the vocal is controlled and the chain is controlled. It's what I've been doing for so many years, guys. I always stack my plugins, stack my chain, making sure that it's solid and nice. But in the end, I have a preset that I always use, which is called controlling the overall chain, because you need to control the chain. Don't forget to subscribe. I've seen that most of you are not subscribed. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We need to actually grow this channel. See you on the next one.